We're live here in Victoria as the Victoria Generals take on the Brazos Valley Bombers here at Riverside Stadium. This is the third game of a four-game series between the Bombers and the Generals. Casey Callick will be on the mound tonight for the Victoria Generals as we're about to start first pitch here at Riverside Stadium. First pitch on the way from Callick is going to be in there for a swing and a miss and strike one. Oh, 1 pitch here from Callick. Just outside, and that one's going to even the count at 1-1. 1-1 count is on the way. That one's going to be swung off to the left side for strike two and a quick 1-2 count. Casey Callick up 1-2 in the count, trying to get the first out of the first inning. 1-2 pitch is on the way. Off-speed pitch is in there for strike three. First strikeout of the game for starting pitcher Casey Callick. Kyle Bergeron will be the batter up now here for the Brazos Valley Bombers after the strikeout by Casey Callick. First pitch on the way from Callick is going to be in there for strike one. Kyle Bergeron, the catcher, down 0-1. Pitches in. That one's going to be bouncing in the dirt, and we're going to have an even 1-1 count. 1-1 pitch on the way. And going to be in there for strike two. Bergeron does not like the call. And Casey Callick once again up 1-2. 1-2 pitch to Bergeron. That one's just going to be outside. And it's going to even the count at 2-2. So the 2-2 count. Kyle Bergeron, the batter. Pitch is on the way. That one's going to be swung on and missed. And another strikeout for Casey Callick. So Casey Callick with 2 strikeouts to start the top of the first inning. Sam McGrief will be the batter, and he's going to send that one to the shortstop, just going to get past Cam Corsi, at second for the base hit. So the first hit of the inning and of the game for the Brazos Valley Bombers comes from the El Reef single. Robin Adams will be the batter up next for the Bombers. First pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled off right into the Bombers' dugout. So runner on first base, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Casey Callick with 2 strikeouts to start the game. 0-1 pitch on the way. That one's going to be popped up, and this could be the third out of the inning. Center fielder Michael Williams runs under it, and that will be the inning. So we head to the bottom of the first, no runs in the top half, and the Generals and the Bombers knotted at 0. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals baseball. Back here in Victoria, no runs in the top half of the first for the Bombers as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Ben Butler, the lefty from Katy, Texas, will be on the mound tonight for the Brazos Valley Bombers. For the Victoria Generals, the lineup looks like this. Leading off here will be the second baseman Cam Coursey, followed by the second hitter, first baseman Thomas Jeffries, and in the 3 spot will be the designated hitter Nick Barnes. So the second baseman Cam Coursey will step up to the plate here to start the bottom half of the first. Third game of a 4-game series with the Brazos Valley Bombers. The Generals winning 2 games of the first 2. First pitch on the way from Butler is going to be inside on Coursey. And Cam Coursey quickly up 1-0. Cam Coursey hitting .333 on the season for the Generals. Second pitch on the way to Coursey. That one's going to be in there for strike 1 to even the count. Brazos Valley currently sits in first place in the TCL with the Generals in second. 1-1 pitch on the way to Coursey. That one's going to be in there for strike 2. So the 1-2 count here to Coursey. Coursey's going to check his swing at that one. They're going to say he didn't go. And it'll be an even 2-2 count. So a 2-2 count here to the second baseman, Cam Coursey. Pitch on the way is going to be swung on and missed, and Cam Coursey will go down swinging for the first out at the bottom of the first. So Ben Butler strikes out Cam Coursey, and now up to bat will be the first baseman, Thomas Jeffries. First pitch on the way to Jeffries is going to be low and away for ball 1. Thomas Jeffries hitting .333 on the season as well for the Generals. Pitch on the way from Butler is going to be high and away. Thomas Jeffries quickly up 2-0. Count here to Jeffries. Pitch is on the way. That one's going to be right down the middle for the first strike. 2-1 pitch is on the way. Jeffries is fouling that one off to the left side to even the count at 2-2. So after the Cam Coursey strikeout to start the bottom of the first, Thomas Jeffries has a 2-2 count. Pitch from Butler on the way. That one's going to go up the middle to the shortstop. Throw across the diamond, and it's going to be dropped by the first baseman. So Thomas Jeffries is going to get down with a single here. And the Generals now with a runner on first. So the designated hitter, Nick Barnes, will be the next batter up here for the Generals with a runner on first. Barnes is going to call a quick time here before he can see the first pitch from Butler. First pitch on the way from Butler, and there goes Jeffries to second. Jeffries is sliding in there. Jeffries with the stolen base. He's going to third. So the bad throw by the catcher means that Thomas Jeffries advances to third base. And the Generals with a runner in scoring position and only one out here in the bottom of the first. So Nick Barnes, the batter, with a 1-0 count. Runner on third base. First pitch on the way. Barnes is going to send that one up the middle, and that's going to be an RBI single for the designated hitter, Nick Barnes. So the Generals strike first here in the bottom of the first with a Nick Barnes RBI single. And now up to bat for the Generals will be Luis Olivier. First pitch on the way to Olivier is going to be high and away for ball one. Luis Olivier hitting .245 on the season for the Generals. Nick Barnes on first. Second pitch on the way to Olivier is going to be outside for ball two. So a 2-0 count here to Luis Olivier. Nick Barnes on first. Pitch on the way from Olivier. That one's going to be in there for strike one. And the count quickly sits at 2-1. So a 2-1 count to Luis Olivier. Pitches on the way. That one's going to be swung on and missed. And quickly, Luis Olivier with a 2-2 count. Butler looks down to first. Pitches on the way. There goes Barnes to second. But Olivier is going to foul it off to the back. And the count remains at 2-2. So the Generals scoring a run off the Nick Barnes RBI single. And the Generals lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Butler's going to throw over to first to try and pick off Barnes, but Barnes gets back in time. As I mentioned, the third game of a 4-game series with the Brazos Valley Bombers, as the fourth game will be tomorrow at Riverside Stadium. Pitch on the way from Butler. That one's going to be sent into center field, back to the warning track, and it's going to be off the wall. And Barnes is heading to third. So Luis Olivier sends one to the left field wall, and just like that, the Generals with runners on second and third, and only one out here in the bottom of the first. So Michael Williams, the center fielder, will be the next batter up here for the Generals after the Luis Olivier double that goes off the left field wall, almost clearing that 384-foot wall. So Butler gets the signs from his catcher. First pitch on the way. Williams is going to take that one down for strike one. So the Generals in striking position here in the bottom of the first. Runners on second and third for the center fielder Michael Williams. Second pitch on the way from Williams is going to be swung on and missed. And just like that, Michael Williams falls behind 0-2. So 0-2 count here to Michael Williams. Pitch from Butler on the way. That one's going to be swung over to the first baseman. First baseman's going to step on the bag, but Nick Barnes is going to stroll home for the second run of the inning. So Nick Barnes rolls home after the ground out by Michael Williams. And just like that, the Generals lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Up next for the Generals be Zach Howard. First pitch on the way to Howard is going to be swung on and missed. Zach Howard, the right fielder, hitting .327 on the season for the Generals. Has a runner on second. Second pitch on the way to Howard is going to be swung on and missed. Just like that, Zach Howard is down 0-2. So we have 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 runs by the Generals. Runner on second for Zach Howard. 0-2 pitch to Howard. It's going to be outside for the first ball. So 1-2 count here to Howard. Butler looks to second. Pitch on the way from Butler. That one's going to be sent into left field. This one's going back to the warning track. It might be gone. It is. Zach Howard with the 2-run home run. And just like that, the Generals add 2 more on the board and lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. So what a hit by Zach Howard, the right fielder. And just like that, the Generals take a quick 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. So Zach Howard goes deep to left, and the third baseman, Jake Miller, will be the next batter up here for the Generals. First pitch on the way from Miller is going to be high for ball 1. So it all was started in this inning by Nick Barnes hitting an RBI single up the middle. And then Michael Williams singling out for another run as Howard sends that one off to the right side. And after the Generals held a 2-0 lead, Zach Howard goes to left for a 2-run home run. And the Generals lead 4-0. Pitch on the way to Howard is going to be fouled back again, and Zach Howard down 0-2. Zach Howard hitting .340 on the season for the Generals as he has that huge home run. Pitch on the way to Miller is going to be fouled off again to the right side, and Jake Miller making things difficult for the pitcher, Ben Butler. 1-2 count, here to Jake Miller. That one's going to be in there for strike 3. So Jake Miller's going to go down looking. But the Victoria Generals add 4 runs here in the bottom half of the first to take a 4-0 lead. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back here with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the second inning. Generals lead the Bombers 4-0 after a 4-run bottom of the first inning, as Dylan Bonnert will be the first batter up here for the Bombers. First pitch from Calic is on the way. It's going to be outside for ball one. Bonnert hitting .290 on the season for the Brazos Valley Bombers. Second pitch on the way from Calic. That one's going to be swung on and missed to even the count at 1-1. Brazos Valley currently sits at first place here in the TCL. The Generals closely behind in second place. As the 1-1 on the way from Bonnert, that one's going to be outside to make the count 2-1. 11-5 is the Bombers' record, while the Generals sit at 10-6. 2-1 count here to Bonnert. That one's going to be fouled off to the right side to even the count at 2-2. $1 beer tonight here at Riverside Stadium, as the Compadres party deck is shoulder to shoulder over there full. 2-2 count here to Bonnert. That one's going to be just high and away. And we'll have a 3-2 count here from Calic to Bonnert. Three-two count here. Pitch from Calic. That one's going to be in there just high for ball four. And Casey Calic walks Dylan Bonnert to start the top half of the second. Christian Sepulveda will be the next batter up here for the Bombers. First pitch on the way from Calic. That one's going to be high and away for ball one. So 1-0 count. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled off back behind. Sepulveda down, even at 1-1. So the Bombers with a runner on first here in the top half of the second. No outs after the walk to start the inning. Christian Sepulveda the batter. 1-1 pitch on the way. That one's going to be in there for strike two. And a 1-2 count. So 1-2 count here to Sepulveda. Pitch on the way. That one's just going to be caught with the bat and fouled back, as it looked like Sepulveda had to reach to get that pitch. Runner on first base here for the Bombers. 1-2 pitches on the way. And that one's going to be swung on and missed by Sepulveda, and that's the third strikeout of the game for starting pitcher Casey Calic. So 1 out here in the top of the second after the strikeout. Bennett Einoff will be the next batter up for the Bombers. So after the Calic strikeout, first pitch on the way to Einoff is going to be outside for ball one. Bennett Einoff hitting .148 on the season for the Brazos Valley Bombers. 1-0 pitch from Calic is going to be in there for strike one. The count will be even at 1-1. Bennett Einoff plays at the University of Texas and resides in Houston, Texas. As the 1-1 pitch on the way to Einoff is going to be outside from Kallick to make it a 2-1 count. Starting pitcher Casey Kallick for the Victoria Generals already with 3 strikeouts tonight here on the Bombers. Pitch is on the way. That's going to be swung on and missed. And the count evens at 2-2. So a 2-2 count here to Bennett Einoff. Pitch from Kallick is going to be outside. And the count evens, or excuse me, goes to full at 3-2. So a 3-2 count here to Bennett Einoff. Runner goes to second and the walk will be recorded. And just like that, the Bombers will have runners on first and second after the Bennett Einoff walk. The second baseman, Zach Iverson, will be the next batter up here for the Bombers. Only 1 out with runners on first and second. First pitch on the way to Iverson is going to be in there for strike 1. Zach Iverson hitting .231 on the season for the Bombers. Hometown is Charlotte, North Carolina. Second pitch on the way to Iverson is going to be high and away to even the count at 1-1. So a 1-1 count here to Zach Iverson. Runners on first and second for the Bombers. Only 1 out. The 1-1. That one's going to be outside as Kallick tried to hit that outside corner with an off-speed pitch. And the count moves to 2-1. So a 2-1 count to Zach Iverson. Iverson's going to send that one to right field, and that's going to get over the right field Howard's head, and the 2 runners for the Bombers are going to stroll home. And just like that, Brazos Valley adds 2 to the board here in the top of the second inning. So Zach Iverson hits one over Zach Howard's head and right and scores 2 runs here for the Bombers. As the next up now for the Bombers will be Nathan Pilati. Only 1 out here for the Bombers. Runner on second. First pitch to Pilati is going to be bouncing in the dirt for ball 1. So the Generals fortunate to get those 4 runs in the bottom of the first, as the Bombers have added 2 here in the top of the second. One 1-0 pitch on the way from Kallick. That one's bouncing. And Casey Kallick falls behind 2-0 to the batter, Nathan Pilati. So a 2-0 count. Kallick gets the signs from his catcher. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be high and away. And just like that, Nathan Pilati gets up on Casey Kallick with a 3-0 count. Runner on second here for the Bombers. Already 2 walks in this inning for Casey Kallick. Fourth pitch is on the way and a 4-pitch walk for Casey Kallick. And it looks like head coach Michael Oros is going to go out and try and calm Kallick down with a quick mound visit. We're going to step aside here. Don't go anywhere. Bombers with runners on first and second, and only one out here in the top of the second. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria after the mound visit, the batter Cole Coker will be the batter up for the Bombers. The Bombers with runners on first and second after the Calic 4-pitch walk. Only one out here in the top half of the second. First pitch on the way to Coker is going to be swung on and fouled off behind the Generals dugout for strike one. So the Generals had 4 runs in the bottom half of the first, but the Bombers striking back here in the top of the second. Second pitch on the way from Calic is going to be bouncing in the dirt to even the count at 1-1. So a 1-1 count to Cole Coker, hometown Huffman, Texas. Pitch on the way to Coker is going to be fouled off to the left side, and it makes the count 1-2. Cole Coker hitting .339 on the season for the Bombers. Plays at Lamar University. 1-2 from Coker. That one's going to be swung into right field, and Howard but cannot make the catch. And just like that, the Bombers are going to add 2 more to the board to make it a 4-4 game. So Cole Coker sends one into right field and gets a triple and scores the 2 runs that the Bombers needed. And we're all knotted up here at 4. Kyle Bergeron will be the next batter up for the Bombers, with a runner on first, as the first pitch to Bergeron is going to be foul tipped back for strike 1. So a nice effort out there in right field by the right fielder Zach Howard, but he could not make the catch. And the Bombers tie the game. Second pitch on the way to Bergeron. It's going to be swung on and missed for strike 2. Looks like Bergeron is going to add more grip to his bat, as he looked like it almost slipped completely out of his hands on that swing. So a runner on third here for the Bombers. Kyle Bergeron, the batter. Already 4 runs in this inning for the Bombers. That one's going to be in there in strike 3. And Kyle Bergeron is going to go down swinging. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Sam McElreef will be the next batter up here with 2 outs for the Bombers. Casey Calic with 4 strikeouts tonight, as the first pitch is going to be in there for strike 1. Sam McElreef already with a hit tonight for the Bombers. Second pitch on the way is going to be in there for strike 2. And Casey Calic looking to get out of this inning with a runner on third here for the Bombers. So the 0-2 pitch from Calic is going to be inside, almost hitting McElreef there on the elbow. And the count moves to 1-2. So the 1-2 pitch is on the way. That one's going to be high and away to even the count at 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Runner on third for the Bombers. Pitch on the way by starting pitcher Casey Calick, his 5th of the game. But the Bombers add 4 runs in the top half of the second to even the game up at 4-4. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the second as the scores all knotted up at 4 after the Bombers add 4 runs in the top half of the second. Yanel Ramos, the batter here for the Generals. First pitch to Ramos is going to be outside for ball 1. Shortstop Ramos hitting .225 on the season for the Generals. Second pitch on the way. That one's going to be bouncing in the dirt. And Ramos quickly up 2-0 in the count. So 2-0 pitch from Butler. That one's going to be in there for strike 1. Count quickly moves to 2-1. Already 2 strikeouts in the game for Ben Butler, as that one's going to be swung on and missed by Ramos. And the count evens at 2-2. So an even 2-2 count here to the shortstop. Pitch is on the way. That one's going to be outside. And Ramos quickly with a 3-2 count. So Bombers pitcher Ben Butler looking for the early strikeout here to start the bottom half of the second. Yanel Ramos, the batter. Pitch on the way. Ramos is swinging at that one. It's going to be fouled back. So staying alive here in this at-bat. So a full 3-2 count. Pitch from Butler on the way. That one's going to be inside, and Yanel Ramos to start the inning will draw the walk. So left fielder Kyle Gutveg will be the next batter up here for the Generals, with Yanel Ramos on first and nobody out. First pitch from Butler to Gutveg is going to be high and away. So Kyle Gutveg hitting .296 on the season. Hometown is Palm City, Florida. As a 1-0 pitch from Butler is going to be in there for strike 1. So a 1-1 count here to the left fielder, Gutvig. Ramos on first. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled back. And the count moves to 1-2 to the left fielder. On deck, we'll be back to the top of the order for the Generals as Cam Corsi stands in the on-deck circle. 1-2 pitch on the way. Gutvig's going to check his swing, but they're going to say he did not go all the way. And the count evens to 2-2. So the 2-2 pitch on the way to Gutvig. That one's going to be high. Good eye there by Kyle Gutvig, and the count goes to full, 3-2. So a full 3-2 count here to Kyle Gutvig. Ramos is going to second, but that one's going to be fouled off back to the right side. And Gutvig staying alive in the at-bat. So the 3-2 count here to the left fielder, Gutvig. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be high and away, and Kyle Gutvig's going to draw the walk. So the second walk of the inning here to start the bottom of the second in the top of the order for the Generals. Cam Corsi, the second baseman, will be up to bat. Corsi with a strikeout in his first at-bat up. Runners on first and second for the Generals, nobody out. First pitch on the way. Corsi's looking to bunt, and Corsi's going to get the bunt down. And a nice sacrifice bunt there by Cam Corsi as the runners move to second and third. So some heads-up baseball there by the second baseman, Cam Corsi. And first baseman Thomas Jeffries will be up to bat with runners on second and third. One out here in the bottom of the second as the first pitch to Jeffries is almost going to hit Jeffries. That ball's going to the backstop, and Ramos thought he could get home, but he could not. And just like that, the runner that was on third for the Generals will be thrown out at home. So the ball hit the backstop. Ramos thought he could make it home, but it bounced right back to the Bombers catcher. And Ramos is tagged home at second for the second out of the inning. The runner, however, from second moved to third. That's a 1-0 pitch from Jeffries. That one's bouncing. Good stop there by the catcher. The count's going to go to 2-0. Quick thank you to everybody tuning in today on YouTube live stream, as this is our first time using this platform. 2-0 pitch to Jeffries. Jeffries has taken a huge swing at that one. He's going to miss at that one to make the count 2-1. Thomas Jeffries playing last season for the Brazos Valley Bombers and now playing first base this year for the Generals. 2-1 pitch to Jeffries. That one's going to be in there for strike two. And just like that, a 2-2 count here on the first baseman, Jeffries. Ben Butler looking to get out of this inning with no runs done, as the pitch is going to be bouncing down and away. Count's going to go full to 3-2. On deck will be the designated hitter, Nick Barnes, who scored one of those runs in the bottom half of the first for the Generals with an RBI single. So the count's full at 3-2 here to Jeffries. As I mentioned, the former Bomber last season. And that one's going to be high and away. The runner's coming home. And just like that, Kyle Gutvig crosses the plate. And the Generals now regain the lead 5-4. And Thomas Jeffries goes to first with a walk. So after the bad throw there by the pitcher, Ben Butler, the Generals add another run to the board and regain the lead 5-4. Designated hitter Nick Barnes will be the batter. First pitch on the way to Barnes is going to be down and away, and there goes Jeffries to second. So just like that, the Generals move the base runner over to second base. 1-0 count here to Nick Barnes. Barnes is going to send that one up to the second baseman, but a routine ground ball throw out to first. But the Generals add a run here in the bottom half of the second to regain the lead 5-4. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top half of the third. The Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. First up here for the Bombers will be Robin Adams. Casey Calick, the pitcher for the Generals, as the first pitch from Calick is going to be swung on by Adams, but it's going to be fouled off to the left side. So Robin Adams, the batter, quickly falls behind 0-1 after the foul ball. Second pitch on the way from Calick is going to be outside, and the count's going to even at 1-1. So the 1-1 count on the way. That one's going to be in there for strike two. And the count's going to go to 1-2 in Casey Calick's favor. So the 1-2 pitch on the way. Calick is almost going to get Adams down, but Adams is just going to get a hold of that one and foul it off to the right side. Robin Adams plays at Lamar University as the 1-2 pitch on the way is going to be popped up to the infield, and a routine pop fly here for the right fielder Zach Howard. And just like that, well, there will be one out. Dylan Bonner will be the next batter up here for the Bombers. One out in the top of the third. First pitch on the way to Bonner is going to be swung on and missed. What a huge swing there. But could not connect with the ball. Quickly down 0-1 in the count is Dylan Bonner. So 0-1 pitch on the way from Calic. That one's going to be fouled off to the left side. And the count's going to go to 0-2. So an 0-2 count here to Dylan Bonner, who drew a walk in his first at-bat. Umpire's going to call a quick timeout here. Looks like he's waving the bat boy to get in the dugout, as he does not want him to get hit by a foul ball. 0-2 count here to Dylan Bonner. Pitch on the way from Calic. That one's going to be sent into the gap in right field, but Zach Howard's going to run under it for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. And Christian Sepulveda will be the batter up. First pitch on the way to Christian Sepulveda is going to be in there for strike one. So Casey Calic tonight, 5 strikeouts and 3 walks on 3 hits given up. 0-1 pitch on the way to Sepulveda. That one's going to be in there for strike 2. And the Generals 1 strike away from getting Casey Calic out of this inning. 0-2 pitch on the way is going to be outside. The count's going to move to 1-2. So a 1-2 count to Sepulveda. An off-speed pitch is going to be just high and away. The count's going to go even to 2-2. So the 2-2 pitch on the way is going to be grounded up the middle, and it's going to go off of Ramos's glove at shortstop. And just like that, the Bombers are cooking with a runner on first. 2 outs. So after the single by Sepulveda, Bennett Einoff will be the next batter here for the Bombers. So Bennett Einoff with a runner on first. First pitch on the way. It's going to be in there for strike 1. So an 0-1 count here to Bennett Einoff, who drew a walk his first at-bat. Runner on first with 2 outs. Calic looks down to first. And the 0-1 pitch on the way. That one's going to be in there for strike 2. Once again, Casey Calic gets up 0-2 in the count here to Bennett Einoff. So the 0-2 count to Einoff, and Calic's going to throw over to first. It's going to get past Jeffrey's glove. And just like that, the runner moves to second for the Bombers. So Thomas Jeffries cannot make the catch from Calic in the pickoff attempt. And just like that, the Bombers with a runner on second here with only 2 outs. A quick mound visit here by the Generals. Luis Olivier And Thomas Jeffries just trying to calm down Casey Calick, trying to get him out of this inning. So the 0-2 count here to Bennett Einoff. Pitch is on the way. Just going to be outside. Some of the fans did not like the call. And the count moves to 1-2. So 1-2 count here to Einoff. Pitch is on the way. The runner goes to third, but it's not going to matter as Bennett Einoff goes down swinging. So no runs here in the top half of the third, and we go to the bottom half of the inning. Generals lead 5-4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the third. Generals lead 5-4. Bombers starting pitcher Ben Butler's night is done for the Bombers. And the new pitcher in for the Bombers will be Cody Collins. And the first batter that Collins will face will be Luis Olivier. So Collins' first pitch of the game will be in there for ball one to Olivier. Bombers starting pitcher Ben Butler. 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 3 hits given up, 5 runs given up to the Generals as the second pitch is on the way and it's going to be in there for strike one. So 1-1 count here to Luis Olivier. 1 run and a hit tonight as that one is fired over to the third baseman. What a scoop there. And the Generals now with 1 out. Center fielder Michael Williams will be the next batter up for the Generals after the Luis Olivier ground out. Michael Williams already with an RBI tonight for the Generals. As the first pitch on the way to Williams is going to be in there for strike one. Fantastic batting average on the season for Williams as he's hitting .352. As that pitch is going to go outside to make the count 1-1. Williams in the top 5 on the team in batting average. Has been very reliable this year. Hitting. There's a 1-1 on the way. He's going to be bouncing down on the plate. And the count moves to 2-1. So a 2-1 count here to the center fielder Williams, and that one's going to be sent up into center field for a base hit for the center fielder Michael Williams. So Michael Williams hits a single on the new pitcher Cody Collins, and the right fielder Zach Howard will be up to bat next here for the Generals. So after the single by Williams, Zach Howard looking to get Williams around as Collins is going to throw over to first to try and pick Williams off. Williams had a pretty big lead over there. And a nice dig there by the Bombers' first baseman, because that one might have got to the fence. And Williams, we've seen it before this season, Williams probably could have got to third. But instead, a good stop there by the Bombers' first baseman. Second pitch on the way. That one is going to be in there for a strike, and Williams is going to get down and be thrown out at second. Michael Williams cannot believe it, but Williams is going to be tagged out on the steal attempt. And just like that, that'll be the second out of the inning. So after Williams is thrown out on the steal attempt, Zach Howard with the 0-1 count. That one's going to be outside to even the count up at 1-1. Close play there on the steal attempt by Williams, but the tag looked like it was just in time. As the 1-1 pitch looks like it's going to bounce off the foot of the catcher. And the count moves to 2-1. So a 2-1 count here to Howard. That one's going to be down and away. And a 3-1 count here to the right fielder, Zach Howard. Zach Howard with 2 RBIs tonight as he sends that one off into right. Howard had the home run in the bottom half of the first, which gave the Generals eventually a 4-0 lead. The Bombers battled back though in the top half of the second, scoring 4 of their own, but the Generals adding 1 more in the bottom of the second to make it 5-4 as Howard sends that one into left field for a base hit. And Zach Howard's on with the single for the Generals. So the third baseman, Jake Miller, will be next up for the Generals, as Zach Howard continues his hot streak hitting. And the runner's now on first base for Miller. First pitch on the way. That one's going to be inside for ball 1 to Miller. Third game of a 4-game series between the Generals and the Bombers as the Bombers pitcher Cody Collins is going to throw over to first to try and get the pickoff. Game 4 will be played tomorrow here at Riverside Stadium, same time, 7:05 first pitch. As the 1-0 pitch is going to be swung on and fouled back. The count evens to 1-1. So a battle for first place here as the Bombers currently sit in first with an 11-5 record, but the Generals close second with a 10-6 record. Looking to regain that first place spot as Howard's going to swing at that one right over the shortstop, grounded throw across the diamond for the third out of the inning. So we head to the top of the fourth, no runs in the third by either team, and the Generals lead 5-4. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the fourth inning as the Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Zach Iverson will be the first batter up here for the Bombers. Casey Calick still on the mound here for the Generals. 6 strikeouts tonight for Calick, 3 walks, 4 hits and 4 runs given up as the first pitch to Iverson is going to be outside for ball 1. So the 1-0 pitch on the way to Iverson is going to be in there for strike 1. So Zach Iverson already with 2 RBIs tonight for the Bombers. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way from Calick, is going to be swung on back behind. And the count goes to 1-2. So the 1-2 count to Iverson. Pitch from Calick is on the way. It's going to be swung on and missed, and another strikeout for Casey Calick. And that will be Calick's 6th strikeout of the game. Next up to bat for the Bombers will be Nathan Pilati. Pilati walked his first at bat as it looks like he's trying to bunt here on the first pitch. But the ball is outside for ball 1. Excuse me, that was Calick's 7th strikeout of the game so far. As the 1-0 pitch is on the way, that one's going to be fouled back to the right side to even the count at 1-1. So as I mentioned, a battle for first place here at Riverside Stadium as 2 very good teams going at it with each other. As the 1-1 pitch is going to be in there off the off-speed pitch from Calick. And the count's going to go to 1-2. The Bombers have won 5 straight TCL championships, and the Generals looking to dethrone them, or any team in the league for that matter, as that one's going to be fouled off to the right side. So a 1-2 pitch here to Nathan Pilati from Calick. That one's going to be swung over to Cam Coursey for the catch for out number 2 here in the top half of the 4th. So back to the top of the order here for the Bombers is Cole Coker. Will be stepping up here, the lefty. First pitch on the way to Coker. That one's going to be fouled off to the left side for strike number 1. Cole Coker with a hit and a strikeout tonight. 2 RBIs for the lefty, as the 0-1 pitch is going to be in there for a ball to even the count at 1-1. So a 1-1 count here to Cole Coker. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be hopped up into center field. Michael Williams, the center fielder, is going to run right under it for the 3rd out of the inning. So no runs in the top half of the 4th for the Bombers. And the Generals lead 5-4. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the fourth. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. First up to bat here for the Generals will be the shortstop Yanel Ramos. Ramos took a walk in his first at-bat. Cody Collins, the pitcher, still on the mound here for the Bombers. First pitch on the way from Collins is going to be in there, high and away for ball one. Yanel Ramos hitting .225 on the season for the Generals. As the second pitch on the way, that one's going to be in there to even the count at 1-1. So 1-1 count here to the shortstop Ramos. And is going to be swung on and missed. A big swing there by Ramos, and he quickly falls behind 1-2. One-two count on the way. Pitch from Collins. Ramos is going to send that one over into left field, but it's just going to go foul over that left side foul line. Would have possibly been a double there for Ramos, but instead the count remains at 1-2. So a 1-2 count here to Ramos. Pitch from Collins is on the way. That one's going to be just tipped off the top of the bat from Ramos and fouled back. One-two pitch on the way from Collins. Ramos is going to take that one inside to even the count up at 2-2. Good patience here by the shortstop, staying alive in this at-bat. As a 2-2 pitch on the way. Ramos is going to take a huge swing at that one, and he's going to go down swinging here for the first out of the inning. Left fielder Kyle Gutveg will step up next here for the Generals. And Gutveg took a walk his first at bat. First pitch on the way from Gutveg. That one's going to be fouled off to the right side for strike one. Generals will be back to the top of the order as Cam Corsi sits in the on deck circle. So an 0-1 count here to Kyle Gutveg. That one's going to be outside, and the count evens to 1-1. One pitch on the way to Gutveg. That one is going to be in there off the off-speed pitch. And Cody Collins quickly up 1-2 on Kyle Gutveg. So a 1-2 pitch on the way. And that one's going to be in there for strike three. And Kyle Gutveg is going to go down looking for the second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order for the Generals, the second baseman Cam Corsi steps in, trying to get something started here for the Generals, as two strikeouts back to back for Cody Collins. First pitch on the way to Collins, from Collins, is going to be high and away for ball one. So Cam Corsi with a strikeout tonight. As a second pitch on the way to Corsi is going to be grounded to the first baseman, and Collins is going to run over. What an effort there by the second baseman Cam Corsi, hustling down the line, but could not get there in time, and that will be the third out of the inning. So we head to the top of the fifth. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals baseball. back here in Victoria. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4 as we head here to the top of the 5th inning. Kyle Bergeron will be the first batter here for the Bombers, as the first pitch from Calic is going to be in there for strike one. Once again, that's Kyle Bergeron batting here for the Bombers. And that one's going to be in there for a ball, and the count's going to go to even 1-1. 1-1 pitch on the way from Calic. An off-speed pitch is going to be popped up in the infield over to the shortstop, Ramos, to make the catch for out number 1. Jake Miller looked like he was going to make that catch, and Ramos came out of nowhere to make the first out of the inning. So after the pop out, next up for the Bombers will be Sam McElreef. McElreef is going to foul that one off to the left side for the first strike. Sam McElreef tonight with a hit and a strikeout for the Bombers. A 1 pitch on the way from Calic is going to be outside, and the count's going to even at 1-1. "83 pitches tonight from Casey Calic, as that one goes in there for ball 2. Good start tonight here by Casey Calic. 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, as that one's going to be fouled up off to the left side for another foul ball. So Casey Calic tonight for the Generals, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks, 4 hits given up, and 4 runs given up. 4 earned runs given up. And we're here in the top of the 5th. So the 2-2 count here to Sam McElreef. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be high. We're going to have a full 3-2 count. Always competitive baseball between these two teams, especially tonight as the first place position is on the line with the winner, and that one's going to be in there just outside, and Sam McElreef is going to draw the walk here with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Next up for the Bombers will be Robin Adams with a runner on first and only 1 out. First pitch on the way from Calic to Adams is going to be in there for strike 1. Oh, 1 count. Pitch on the way to Adams is going to be swung on and belted to center field. Back goes Michael Williams, clear back to the warning track. And what an over-the-shoulder catch by the center fielder, Michael Williams, sending the runner back to first. And just like that, there's 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th. Dylan Bonnert will be the batter up here for the Bombers. Runner on first and 2 outs. First pitch on the way to Bonnert's going to be in and away for ball 1. "110 pitches thrown tonight by Casey Calic, as that one's going to be fouled off to the right side. And just like that, the count's going to be 1-2. excuse me, my math was wrong. Only 91 pitches thrown by Casey Kallick. I apologize for that, as that one for the 92nd pitch is going to be outside to even the count at 2-2. So a 2-2 count here from Kallick, and that one's going to be swung up the middle. Ramos is going to get there, and he's going to rule the double play. Wasn't necessary because there was 2 outs, but just like that, no runs here in the top half of the 5th. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. As Thomas Jeffries, the first baseman, will be up here first for the Generals. 2 innings pitched so far by Bombers pitcher Cody Collins. Already with 2 strikeouts and 2 hits given up. No runs. First pitch on the way from Collins. That one's going to be in there for strike 1. And that count's going to be 0-1 to the first baseman, Thomas Jeffries. Second pitch on the way to Jeffries. Jeffries is going to send that one over to the second baseman. Nice scoop there by the Bombers second baseman. And just like that, 1 out here in the top half, or the bottom half of the 5th, excuse me. The designated hitter, Nick Barnes, will step up next here for the Generals. Nick Barnes already with a hit and an RBI tonight. Looking to add to that total. First pitch on the way to Barnes is going to be off-speed pitch in there for strike 1. Nick Barnes, teammates with second baseman Cam Corsi. Second pitch on the way is going to be outside to even the count up at 1-1. Both Cam Corsi and Nick Barnes coming from Georgia Gwinnett. That's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Barnes. That one's going to be in there. And the count's going to move to 2-1. So Luis Olivier sits on the on-deck circle. 2-1 count here to Barnes, and that one's going to be in there for strike 2. Off-speed pitch. A lot of the fans thought that was outside, but instead the count sits at 2-2. So the 2-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be high. And we're going to have a full 3-2 count here to Nick Barnes. So a 3-2 count to the designated hitter Barnes. Barnes is going to foul that one back into the netting. And staying alive here in this at-bat. So a 3-2 count. Pitch from Collins on the way. Barnes is going to send that one over to past the third baseman. And Nick Barnes is going to get on for a single here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. So Luis Olivier will step up next here for the Generals after the base hit by Nick Barnes. Olivier already with a hit and a run tonight for the Generals. First pitch on the way to Olivier is going to go right down the middle for strike 1. 6 hits tonight for the Generals, 3 for the Bombers. 2 errors by both teams. Collins is going to throw over to first to try and get Barnes on the pickoff attempt, but it's not going to work. So the 0-1 count here to Luis Olivier. Again, Collins throws over to first, almost getting Barnes over there. As it looks like Barnes is trying to get that big lead off to try and possibly steal this bag, but gets back just in time. Oh, 1 count here to Olivier. Olivier is going to take a big swing at that one and just going to miss it. And the count's going to roll to 0-2. Michael Williams, the center fielder, on deck for the Generals. Collins is going to throw over to first once again to try and get Barnes. Keeping him honest over there on that base pad. So 0-2 count here to Luis Olivier. Pitch on the way. Olivier's going to swing at that one way outside. And that'll be the second out of the inning as Olivier goes down swinging. So the center fielder Michael Williams will step up to the plate next here for the Generals with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Runner still on first base for the Generals. Once again, Collins throwing over to first just to make sure Barnes doesn't get any ideas of stealing that bag. First pitch to Williams. That one's going to be in there for strike 1. Michael Williams with a hit and an RBI tonight for the Generals. As the second pitch on the way to Williams. Williams is going to take a huge swing at that one. And just going to miss it to even the count at 1-1. Or excuse me, to go to 0-2. 0-2 count here to Williams. Collins looks over to first at Barnes. 0-2 pitch to Williams. That one's going to be outside. And that count's going to move to 1-2. So a 1-2 count to Michael Williams. Williams is going to send that one into the gap. If this gets down, it does not. The center fielder runs under it. What a beautiful hit there by Michael Williams. But nice run over there by the center fielder for the Bombers. And just like that, we end the fifth with no runs scored. And the Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the sixth inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. As Christian Sepulveda will be the first batter up here. As the first pitch from Calic is going to be popped up to the left side. And it looks like it's just going to be in there. And it's going to be dropped by the third baseman. Jake Miller just barely dropping that ball. As it looked like at first it was going to clear that left field fence over there to get out of foul territory, but it just hooks in, and Miller cannot make the catch. So after the Jake Miller dropped pop fly, it's an 0-1 count here to Christian Sepulveda, as that one's going to be in there to even the count up at 1-1. 1-1 count here from Sepulveda. To Sepulveda, is going to be down and away from Casey Calic. That count's going to move to 2-1. Almost 100 pitches thrown here by Calic, as the off-speed pitch is going to be outside, and the count's going to move to 3-1. Only 3 hits tonight for the Bombers, given up by Casey Calic, as the 3-1 pitch is going to be in there for strike 2. Sepulveda thought it was going to be a strike. Started walking towards the first baseline, but instead the count goes full at 3-2. Three-two pitch on the way. That one's going to be tipped by Sepulveda over to the second baseman, Cam Corsi, for the first out of the inning. So Cam Corsi continues his fantastic fielding year for the Generals, and the first out of the inning was recorded. Bennett Einoff will be the next batter up here for the Bombers. 1 out, as the first pitch from Calic is going to be high and away for ball 1. So a 1-0 count to Bennett Einoff, as that one's going to be low and away for ball 2. That was Calic's 101st pitch. As the 2-0 pitch is going to be outside for ball 3. So 102 pitches tonight for Casey Calic, and he's down 3-0 to Bennett Einoff. As the pitch is going to be in there, it's swung on and missed by Bennett Einoff. And the count's going to move to 3-1. So 3-1 pitch on the way. That one is going to be in there for strike 2. And Einoff thought that one might have been a ball as he started walking towards first. But instead the count moves to 3-2. 3-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled back. And Einoff is staying alive. So a full 3-2 count. Pitch from Calic in there. An off-speed pitch is going to be in there for another strikeout for Casey Calic. And just like that, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. And it looks like that could have been Casey Calic's last batter as head coach Michael Oros is coming out for a mound visit. We're going to step aside here. Don't go anywhere. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4 here in the top of the 6th. Back here in Victoria, I was incorrect on my assessment. Casey Calic will stay out there for the Generals after the strikeout. Zach Iverson will be the batter here for the Bombers. First pitch will be in there for strike 1. Casey Calic tonight with 8 strikeouts and 4 walks on 4 earned runs. As the 0-1 pitch to Iverson. Iverson's going to send that one into center field. But the speedy center fielder, Michael Williams, with a great catch out there. And no runs here in the 6th inning, and we go to the 7th. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. As Zach Howard will be the first batter up here for the Generals. Zach Howard already with 2 hits and 2 RBIs tonight on a productive night hitting for the Generals. First pitch on the way from Cody Collins is going to be fouled back to the right side. And Howard quickly falls behind 0-1. So an 0-1 count here to Howard. Pitch on the way. Once again, fouled off to the right side. Back to the parking lot. And the count goes to 0-2. Victoria College night tonight here at Riverside Stadium. And also $1 beer night. As a large crowd has shown up, as that one's going to be high and away for ball number 1 to make the count 1-2. Both party decks full of fans watching their hometown Generals, as the 1-2 pitch on the way is going to be outside, and they're going to look down at the first base umpire thinking that Howard checked his swing, but he did not go, and the count will even to 2-2. So the 2-2 count here to Howard, and Howard's going to swing and miss at that one. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. So the fourth strikeout of the game for Cody Collins of the Bombers. And next up here for the Generals will be Jake Miller. First pitch on the way to Miller is going to be outside for ball 1. Very slow game after the second inning. Fast game after the second inning due to all the runs being scored early in the game. As the 0-1 count is going to be hit by Miller, but it's going to be caught by the second baseman for the second out of the inning. Yanel Ramos will be the shortstop up here for the Generals with 2 outs. As I was mentioning, 4 runs by the Generals in the first inning, 4 by the Bombers in the second. As the first pitch from Ramos is going to be in there for strike 1. But outside of the second inning, we have not seen any scoring, which has made this a very fast game. The 0-1 pitch to Ramos is going to be bouncing in the dirt, and the count's going to be even to 1-1. Ramos with a strikeout and a walk tonight for the Generals. One pitch on the way to Ramos. That one's going to be high and away. And the count's going to move to 2-1. Two-one pitch on the way to Ramos is going to be swung on. Huge swing there by the shortstop, Ramos. And the count evens to 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way to Ramos is going to be fouled back to the right side. Staying alive is Yanel Ramos. So if even 2-2 count. 2-2 on the way from Collins is going to be in there for strike 3, and Yanel Ramos is going to go down looking. So we head to the top of the 7th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Casey Calix's night is done for the Generals, as coming into relief will be Cal Kilgo. Casey Calix's stats tonight: 6 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 4 walks, 4 earned runs given up on 4 hits. Cal Kilgo looking to come into relief and hold on to this lead for the Generals. Nathan Pilati will be the first batter up here for the Bombers in the top half of the 7th. First pitch on the way to Pilati. Pilati's looking to bunt, but he's going to pull back. And the count's going to go to 1-0. So Nathan Pilati with a walk and a hit tonight. A run scored tonight. As that one's going to be fouled off to the right side to even the count at 1-1. Generals looking to take 3 in a row from the Bombers, as they took 2 at Brazos Valley on Monday and Tuesday. That one's going to be bunted up the middle to Kilgo. Kilgo's going to fire it over to first. What a dig there by Thomas Jeffries. And that's going to be the first out of the inning for the Generals. Cole Coker back to the top of the orders for the Brazos Valley Bombers. After the nice scoop there by former Bomber himself, Thomas Jeffries, over at first. First pitch on the way from Coker is going to be outside for ball 1. Second pitch on the way to Coker from Kilgo is going to be outside, and the count moves to 2-0. Pitch here from Kilgo is going to be in there for strike 1. So the 2-1 pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled back, and the count's even at 2-2. Cole Coker with a hit and 2 RBIs tonight, but also with a strikeout. And the count's even at 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be outside. We're going to have a full 3-2 count. Counts full at 3-2 to Cole Coker. Pitch from Kilgo. That one's going to be swung on, and they're going to say he foul-tipped it back. Almost looked like a strikeout from up here. But they're going to say he did indeed make contact with the ball. And Cole Coker stays alive. So the 3-2 on the way to Coker, and Cal Kilgo is going to walk Coker after the long at-bat. So the Bombers now with a runner on first with 1 out. Up next for the Bombers will be the catcher Kyle Bergeron. Bombers looking to tie the game up here in this inning after the walk from Cal Kilgo. First pitch on the way to Bergeron is going to be down and away for ball 1. So Kyle Bergeron with 2 strikeouts tonight already for the Bombers. As the 1-0 pitch is going to be in there and swung on and missed. And the count's going to even up to 1-1. So So a 1-1 count here to Kyle Bergeron. Kilgo looks over at first. Pitch on the way to Bergeron. That one looked like it slipped out of Kilgo's hands. And the count's going to move to 2-1. So a 2-1 count here to Kyle Bergeron. That one's going to be swung on and fouled back. And it's going to be an even 2-2 count. Three hits tonight for the Bombers, 6 for the Generals, but the Generals only hold a 5-4 lead. As a 2-2 pitch is on the way, that one's going to be outside, almost a wild pitch there. Nice scoop by the catcher Luis Olivier. And we're going to have another full 3-2 count here to Kyle Bergeron. Three-two pitch on the way from Kilgo. That one's going to be inside, and Kyle Bergeron is going to draw the walk. So after the Kyle Bergeron walk, Sam McElreath will be the next batter up for the Bombers. Runners on first and second here for the Bombers. Only one out after back-to-back walk here by Cal Kilgo. Sam McElreath, the batter for the Bombers. First pitch on the way. That one's going to hit McElreath straight in the back. And just like that, the Bombers have the bases loaded with only one out here in the top of the 7th. Looks like we're going to see a mound visit here by head coach Michael Oros to try and calm down Cal Kilgo. We're going to step aside here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, as we sit in the top of the 7th inning, Generals lead the Bombers 5-4, but the Bombers have the bases loaded and only one out in the inning. Cal Kilgo's night is finished for the Generals, and the new pitcher in for the Generals will be Tyler Crouch, trying to get the Generals out of this huge jumble that they are in. And the batter up for the Bombers will be Robin Adams. Looks like Olivier is going to call a quick time here to go out and talk to Crouch. Sticky situation that the Generals are in. Bases loaded with only one out in the inning as they cling on to a 5-4 lead. 2 walks and a hit batter by Cal Kilgo means that Tyler Crouch is going to try and come in and clutch this inning. First pitch on the way from Crouch is going to be inside. Adams having to dodge out of the way of that one. And the count moves to 1-0. 1-0 count here to Adams, as that one's going to be in there to even the count to 1-1. So Robin Adams, no hits tonight for the Bombers. As the 1-1 on the way, that one is going to hit Adams. And no, they're going to say that it just looked like it just hooked inside. Adams jumped out of the way at the last second. I thought personally it got him in the back, but it did not. It hooked back in, almost scoring a run there. But the count moves to 2-1 instead. 2-1 pitch on the way from Crouch is going to be outside. And the count moves to 3-1 here on Robin Adams. And the Generals are in a big hurdle here. With 1 ball away would score a run. 3-1 pitch on the way to Robin Adams, and Adams is going to send that one into right field, but over the right field fence for a foul ball. So the count moves to 3-2 here as Tyler Crouch looks to get this out here on Robin Adams. 1 ball would tie this game up, and a strike would add another out. So a 3-2 pitch on the way. And Adams is going to bounce that one up to the shortstop, Ramos. What a snag there. And the double play is rolled by Cam Corsi. What a fantastic play there. And the scoop by Yanel Ramos throws it over to Cam Corsi for the bare hand throw across to first. And no runs get around for the Bombers. A missed opportunity by Brazos Valley as they had the bases loaded with only 1 out. And just like that, we move to the bottom of the 7th. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Generals lead the out, and no runs scored for the Bombers. First pitch on the way to Gutveg. That one's going to be down and away for ball one. And just the continued success by that right side of Jeffries and Corsi keeps the runners off the bags, off the plate for the Bombers, as a second pitch from Collins is going to be in there for ball two. Got to be heartbreaking if you're a Brazos Valley coach, leaving the bases loaded and one out. Two-0 pitch coming to Gutveg. Gutveg's going to swing at that one and miss. And the count's going to move to 2-1. So a 2-1 count here to Kyle Gutveg. That one's going to be fouled back to the right side. And the count's going to even at 2-2. So a 2-2 count here to the left fielder, Kyle Gutveg. Pitch is on the way. Gutveg's going to send that one over to the shortstop, but a routine throw across the diamond means that will be the first recorded out of the inning. Back to the top of the order for the Generals, the second baseman, Cam Corsi, will be batting here for the Generals. As I mentioned, Corsi making the barehanded catch and the throw over to first last inning by the Yanel Ramos throw. As the first pitch into Corsi is going to be in there for strike one. So an 0-1 count here to Cam Corsi. Second pitch on the way, and Cam Corsi's going to send that one to left field for a base hit. So Cam Corsi gets the Generals on the bags here with one out in the bottom of the 7th. First baseman Thomas Jeffries will be the next batter up. That was the second hit of the night for Corsi. And Jeffries tonight with a walk and a run. Corsi on first. First pitch on the way to Jeffries is going to be fouled back to the left side. So 0-1 count here to the first baseman, Thomas Jeffries, the former Bomber, as Collins is going to throw over to first to try and keep Cam Corsi from stealing that bag. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. There goes Corsi to second. Corsi turns on the burners, but is going to get thrown out at second. What a throw there by the Bombers catcher. Getting the speedster Cam Corsi out on the steal attempt. And that will be the second out of the inning. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th after Corsi is caught stealing. Pitch on the way to Jeffries. Jeffries is sending that one into right field, but the right fielder will run under it for the third out of the inning. So we head to the top of the 8th. No runs in the 7th. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. We're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the 8th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. First up to bat here for the Bombers, will be Dylan Bonnert. As Tyler Crouch, the pitcher for the Generals. First pitch on the way from Crouch is going to be high and away for ball one. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the 8th. So a 1-0 count here to Dylan Bonnert. Second pitch of the at-bat is going to be in there for strike one. And the count's going to quickly even to 1-1. So the Bombers loading the bases last inning and only having one out. But a double play was rolled and no runs were scored. As a 1-1 pitch from Crouch is going to be outside for ball two. And the count was full 3-2 on Adams as well. So Crouch was one ball away from walking in a run, but good defense by the Generals, as a 2-1 pitch from Crouch is going to be outside once again. And Crouch quickly falls behind 3-1 in the count here to Dylan Bonnert. So 3-1 count here to Bonnert, as that one's going to be hit over to the shortstop Ramos. Routine throw across the diamond, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. So a nice scoop there by the shortstop Yanel Ramos. And now there's one out here in the top half of the 8th. Next up for the Bombers will be Christian Sepulveda. Sepulveda already with a hit and a strikeout tonight, as the first pitch is going to be popped up behind for for strike one. So 7 hits tonight for the Generals, only 3 for the Bombers. Score remains at 5-4. As it's 0-1 is going to go in there to Sepulveda, and it's going to be outside to even the count at 1-1. No runs have been scored since the second inning. Generals scored 4 in the bottom of the first. Bombers scored 4 in the top of the second. Generals scored 1 in the bottom of the second. And no runs after that. As the 1-1 count to Sepulveda, that one is going to be in there on the off-speed pitch by Tyler Crouch. And Crouch quickly up 1-2. So the 1-2 pitch on the way from Crouch is going to be outside, way outside, to even it up at 2-2. Two-two count here to Sepulveda. He's going to send that one over to the left side, but it's going to go over past the third base coach for a foul ball. So a 2-2 count here to Sepulveda. Crouch gets the symbol from his catcher Olivier. Pitch on the way from Crouch, and another foul ball. As Sepulveda doing a good job here for the Bombers, staying alive. Bombers in desperate need of a base runner, as they want to try and tie this game up. 2-2 pitch on the way. Sepulveda is going to go down swinging, and Tyler Crouch is going to record the strikeout. Second out of the inning for the Generals. So 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning after the strikeout by Sepulveda. Next up for the Bombers will be Bennett Einoff. First pitch on the way to Einoff is going to be fouled back to the right side for an 0-1 count. Bennett Einoff tonight with a walk and 2 strikeouts for the Bombers, as Zach Iverson is on deck. Second pitch on the way to Einoff, an off-speed pitch, high and away. Einoff having to dodge out of the way of that one. And the count evens to 1-1. So an even 1-1 count here. Another off-speed pitch. Nice thrown pitch in there. Just going to bounce away in the dirt. And I believe the count is going to move to 2-1, but I could be incorrect, as I did not see the umpire's call. The umpire is going to say it's a 1-2 count, actually. I was wrong on that, as the pitch from Crouch is going to be in, and another foul ball. So the pitch I thought might have just been low. I guess Einoff checked his swing or something, and now the count sits at 1-2. 1-2 pitch on the way from Crouch. And that's going to be swung on a miss, and another strikeout by Tyler Crouch. And just like that, we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. Don't go anywhere. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 5-4. New pitcher in for the Bombers will be Jared Biddy, as he'll see Nick Barnes to start off the bottom of the 8th. Big night so far for Nick Barnes. 2 hits already and 1 RBI for the designated hitter, as the first pitch from Biddy's going to be in there for strike 1. 0-1 pitch on the way to Barnes, and Barnes is going to foul that one back. And Nick Barnes already down 0-2. Generals looking to get some cushion to this lead that they have. Trying to hold on for dear life. 5-4 lead, as the 0-2 pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. So a 2-1 count here to the designated hitter, Nick Barnes. Pitch is on the way. That one's going to be hit into center field. A high fly ball. And the center fielder is going to run under it for the first out of the inning. So Nick Barnes flies out to center. And up next will be the center fielder, Michael Williams. Or excuse me, I was incorrect. The catcher, Luis Olivier, will be the batter up. Michael Williams will be on the on-deck circle. So at least Luis Olivier, the batter for the Generals, 1 out. As the first pitch is going to be high and away for ball 1. Olivier with a hit tonight and a strikeout. As a 1-0 pitch is going to be in there for strike 1. And the count's going to be even at 1-1. Fans do not like that call, as they thought it was a little low. A little taunting there by the umpire, as the 1-1 pitch is going to be down and away for a 2-1 count. The umpire firing back at the fans a little bit, as the fans did not agree with the call, with a little hand signals. But a 2-1 count here to Olivier, and that one's going to be outside. And the count's going to move to 3-1. 3-1 pitch here to Olivier. That one's going to be high and away. And Luis Olivier is going to walk here with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. So after the Olivier walk, Michael Williams, the center fielder, will be up to bat. Michael Williams with a hit and an RBI tonight for the Generals. And has Olivier on first, as the first pitch from Biddy is going to be in there for ball 1. Five to 4 Generals lead, as Williams fouls that one off into the Generals dugout. One count here to the speedy center fielder, Michael Williams. Luis Olivier on first base, as that one's going to be hit over to the right side, and it's going to get past the first baseman. And Michael Williams is going to be on with the single, and Olivier is going to scoot around to third base. And just like that, the Generals with runners on the corners and 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. So the right fielder, Zach Howard, is going to step up to the plate now with runners on the corners and only 1 out. After the Michael Williams single that got past the first baseman, would be a great opportunity here for the Generals, like I mentioned, to add cushion to this 5-4 lead that they currently hold. First pitch on the way to Howard is going to be outside for ball 1. And it looks like there is going to be a mound visit by the Bombers coach to pitcher Jared Biddy. And we're going to step aside here for just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria after the quick mound visit. Runners on the corners for the Generals. Zach Howard, the batter, 1-0 count. And only 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Generals looking to add some cushion to this lead, as the pitch is going to be grounded up the middle to the shortstop. This could be 2. Throw over to first. Howard is going to scoot down to first. And the double play will not be rolled, and just like that, Luis Olivier crosses the plate, and the Generals now lead 6-4 over the Bombers. So nice hustle there by Zach Howard, as it looked like it could have been a double play, but Howard gets down the line. Next up for the Generals will be Luis Vargas, the pitch hitter, here in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch on the way to Vargas is going to be outside for ball 1. So the Generals add that cushion that I mentioned that they needed desperately to get, as they now lead 6-4 over the Bombers. Second pitch on the way to Vargas. That's going deep center, back to the warning track, and it's going to be caught by the Bomber center fielder. But the Generals add 1 in the bottom of the 8th after the Zach Howard single, and the Generals now lead 6-4. We're going to head to the top of the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, we head to the top of the 9th inning. Generals lead the Bombers 6-4. New pitcher in for the Generals will be closer Garrett Alexander, also known as Slim Reaper. Zach Iverson will be the first batter up here for the Bombers, as Alexander looks to get the save. First pitch on the way to Iverson is going to be outside for ball 1. 8 hits tonight for the Generals, only 3 for the Bombers. As a second pitch on the way, that one's going to be in there, foul tipped back, and the count's going to be even to 1-1. So an even 1-1 count here to Zach Iverson. That one's going to be inside, and they're going to say it hit Iverson on the elbow. And it looks like Luis Olivier, the catcher, is going to be shook up a little bit. And it looks like the umpire is going to go to the first base umpire to try and see if he saw anything. Iverson pleading his case that it got him on the shoulder, or on the elbow. And I guess we'll see what the decision was. The Bombers coach goes back to argue. The home plate umpire might call this just a ball, and that's what it's going to be. That pitch was little inside there. So basically what happened, Zach Iverson pleading his case that he was hit on the elbow. Home plate umpire having to go to the first base umpire to try and make a call, and they're going to say it was just a ball. So after all of that, 1-2 count here to Zach Iverson. Pitch on the way from Alexander, and that's going to be swung on and missed, and it's going to be thrown over to first and they're going to say that Thomas Jeffries did not get the tag down. Wow. So basically what happened there was the missed swing by Zach Iverson, the drop ball by Luis Olivier, throw over to first. Jeffries did not get the tag down in time, and Michael Oros is going to go plead his case to the umpire. And just like that, the Bombers, almost with an out here in the inning, now have a runner on first. Oros letting the first base umpire hear it right now, letting him know that he does not think that was a good call, and is going to walk away shaking his head, going to the home plate umpire, trying to plead his case. So we went from the Bombers almost having a first out of the inning to now the Bombers with a runner on base. And the tying run will be up to bat next. Oros still arguing the call here. So as I mentioned, 8 hits tonight for the Generals and only 3 for the Bombers. And the Generals lead 6-4. The third game of a 4-game series with the Brazos Valley Bombers, as the Generals won the first 2 in Brazos Valley, winning Tuesday and Wednesday, winning 7-4 on Tuesday and winning 2-1 on Wednesday, 2-1 on Wednesday, excuse me. Playing the Bombers tonight and tomorrow night to conclude a 4-game series. And the Bombers now with a runner on first. Nathan Pilati will be the batter. Excuse me, the Bombers will actually have a pitch hitter in. That will not be Nathan Pilati. As the first pitch on the way from Alexander. It's going to be outside for ball 1. Olivier tries to throw down to first to try and get the tag. And it's going to go past Jeffrey's glove, and the runner's going to advance to second. So right idea there by catcher Luis Olivier, but a bad throw gets past Thomas Jeffries. And now the runner moves to second here with no outs here in the top of the 9th. So the second pitch on the way from Alexander, that's going to be in there for a strike. So the 1-1 pitch on the way from Alexander. He's going to be in there, swung on and missed. And just like that, Garrett Alexander ahead 1-2 in the count. So a runner on second here for the Bombers. No outs in the inning. Tying run at the plate. Pitch on the way from Alexander is going to be fouled off to the right side. Alexander trying to hit him with the off-speed pitch. And the count remains at 1-2. If you're a Generals fan, you're holding your breath here, as the Bombers are not going to go away easy. 1-2 pitch on the way from Alexander is going to be bouncing in the dirt. The count's going to even up to 2-2. Casey Danley, the batter for the Bombers, the pinch hitter. 2-2 on the way is going to be outside, and the count's going to move to full 3-2. Generals fans getting anxious right now, as the runner on second base, and a 3-2 count here to Danley. Pitch from Alexander is going to be inside for ball 4. And the fans are booing the home plate umpires. They believe that was strike 3. But instead, the walk is going to be recorded, and the Bombers now with runners on first and second with nobody out here in the top half of the ninth. Back to the top of the order for the Bombers, Cole Coker will be the batter. The lead runner at the plate. And Michael Oros is going to go out and talk to his pitcher, Garrett Alexander. And we're going to step aside here for a second. Bombers with runners on first and second. Nobody out here. Top half of the ninth. We'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Back here in Victoria, the Generals have gotten themselves into some trouble, as the Bombers with runners on first and second with nobody out here in the top of the ninth. Batter up for the Bombers will be Cole Coker. Coker looks to bunt here, and Coker's bunt attempt's going to go foul off to the left side. So if Coker could get this bunt down for the Bombers and advance these runners, the Bombers are sitting in a good position to tie the game up. But an 0-1 count here to Cole Coker. Coker looks to bunt again. Jeffrey's going clear to the infield, and the bunt is going to get down successfully, and all of the runners are going to be safe for the Bombers, as the throw could not be made over to first base in time. And just like that, Brazos Valley loads the bases up with no outs here in the top of the ninth. Kyle Bergeron will be the batter up now for the Bombers. And what a turn of events we have saw here at Riverside Stadium. Kyle Bergeron has a chance here. As the first pitch in for ball 1, Kyle Bergeron has a chance here to give the Bombers a lead with a base hit. Bases loaded, no outs. Second pitch on the way from Alexander. That one's going to be outside for a 2-0 count. So a 2-0 count here to Kyle Bergeron. Pitch is on the way from Alexander. That one's going to be popped up to the right fielder, Zach Howard, and the runner is not going to tag up. So a heads-up play there by the right fielder, Zach Howard. And just like that, that'll be the first out of the inning. So after the fly out there by Bergeron, the Generals are 2 outs away from winning this game, but the Bombers with the bases loaded. Sam McElreath will be the batter up, and he's going to foul this first pitch off back to the left side. As I mentioned, an extreme momentum shift as the Generals were sitting nice with a 6-4 lead, now hanging on for dear life. As Sam McElreath, 0-1 count here with the bases loaded. That one's going to be fouled back, and the count's going to move to 0-2. Would be extremely impressive if Garrett Alexander could get himself out of this bases loaded mess that he's gotten himself into. Alexander is going to call a quick timeout here as he looks to throw the 0-2 pitch here to Sam McElreath. 0-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be high. And the count's going to go to 1-2. Every Bombers player in their dugout on their feet right now, as they're anxious to get a base hit here and score 2 runs. 1-2 pitch on the way is going to be swung on and missed by McElreath. And Garrett Alexander records the strikeout for the second out of the inning. So 2 outs here in the top of the 9th after the strikeout by Garrett Alexander. And Robin Adams will be the batter up here for the Bombers. First pitch on the way from Alexander is going to be fouled back for the 0-1 pitch. The fans trying to get behind Alexander here, as he's got the bases loaded on him with 2 outs. A base hit by Adams, like I said, would score these 2 runs at second and third, as the 0-1 pitch is going to be outside, and the count's going to even up to 1-1. The closer, Garrett Alexander, with the 1-1 count here to Robin Adams, and that one's going to be sent to left field, and folks, that one is gone. That's going to be a grand slam, and the Bombers, just like that, are going to add 4 to the board and regain the lead. What a hit there by Robin Adams, and 4 to the board on the grand slam. And the score is going to be 8-6 Bombers. So the Generals holding on to a 6-4 lead going into the top of the 9th inning with 2 outs, and Robin Adams sends one flying into left field. And just like that, the Bombers regain the lead 8-6. Dylan Bonnert, the batter, and he's going to send this one to left field to Gutveg for a routine pop fly. But the air has been taken out here at Riverside Stadium as Robin Adams smokes a grand slam to left field. And now the Bombers lead 8-6 going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere. In this exciting game here at Riverside Stadium, we'll be right back with Victoria Generals Baseball. Victoria. Bombers lead the Generals 8-6 after the Robin Adams grand slam in the top of the ninth inning. We're heading into the top of the ninth with 2 outs in the inning. But Robin Adams absolutely drills a ball to left field. And Dylan Hutchison will be the batter up here to pinch hit for the Generals as the first pitch is going to be in there, strike one. And folks, let me tell you, Robin Adams got every piece of that ball as it flew way over the scoreboard in left field. So the second pitch to Hutchison's going to be outside to even the count at 1-1. So such a momentum shift here as the 1-1 pitch to Hutchison is going to be down and away for ball 2. So the Generals going from having a 2-point lead to trailing by 2 and needing some base runners here in the bottom of the ninth as a 2-1 pitch is going to be swung on and missed by Hutchison, and the count's going to be even at 2-2. Two pitch on the way, and that's going to be swung on and missed. And Dylan Hutchison is going to go down swinging for the Generals. So the first out of the inning has been recorded. And we head to Kyle Gutveg, the left fielder, trying to spark something for the Generals. As the first pitch on the way to Gutveg is going to be in there for strike one. Jared Biddy still the pitcher for the Bombers as the off-speed pitch by Biddy is going to be in there for strike two. And just like that, Gutveg is down 0-2 in the count. So an 0-2 count here to Gutveg. Outside corner for ball one. One-two pitch on the way to Gutveg. That one's just going to nick that outside corner. A couple of the Bombers players thought that was strike three. But instead the count's going to move to 2-2. 2-2 pitch on the way. That's going to be grounded over to the second baseman. And Gutveg is going to be thrown out at first. And just like that, the Bombers are down to their last out. As we go back to the top of the order, and Cam Coursey will be the batter. What a turn of events this game has turned into, as the first pitch to Coursey is going to be in there for strike one. Once again, this is also a huge game for both of these teams, as first place is on the line, as that one's going to be inside for ball one, making the count 1-1. Winner, if the Bombers win this game, they remain in first. If the Generals win, they move into first. As the third pitch of the at-bat's going to be grounded for ball two. So a 2-1 count here to Cam Coursey, and Cam Coursey quickly up 3-1. So the Generals looking to get Coursey on base as a 3-1 pitch is on the way, and that one's going to hit the dirt, and Cam Coursey's going to go to first with the walk. So Cam Coursey draws the walk here with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. And the Bombers coach is going to come out for a mound visit to try and calm his pitcher, Jared Biddy, down. We're going to take a short break here. Don't go anywhere. Generals with the runner on first. 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth inning. So Thomas Jeffries, the batter here for the Generals, trying to be the hero as a runner on first. Jeffries is going to foul that one off to the left side. Runner on first base here for the Generals. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Bombers lead 8-6 after the Robin Adams grand slam in the top of the 9th inning. As Corsi's going to take off for second base, but this is going to be the ball game, folks. And they're going to say that Thomas Jeffries is thrown out at first, and the Brazos Valley Bombers are going to win this game 8-6. So after a close play at first, the Bombers are going to walk away with the victory. And the player of the game obviously is Robin Adams, having the grand slam to left field, giving the Bombers the lead and eventually the victory. The Bombers and the Generals will conclude their 4-game series tomorrow here at Riverside Stadium. 7:05 will be the first pitch tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, Bombers add 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning off the Robin Adams grand slam, and the Bombers defeat the Generals 8-6. We'll see you tomorrow here for Generals Baseball.